Hello! So, in this episode, we are going to rename the boat. We've been waiting to do this for ages, and for the eagle-eyed out there, you will have noticed that our sailing Selkie handle and the fact that our boat's called Moonlighting doesn't make loads of sense. So we got to go through this slightly interesting process, part legal registration, part superstition, to get this boat to be called Selkie. Let's go.
We're Paddy and Esme, and last year we decided to do something a bit crazy. We sold everything we owned, including our flat, and now this is our home, a 40-foot sailing boat called Moonlighting. It's been a long winter of refitting, and we have a lot of work left to do before we set sail on the adventure of our lives. Come along for the highs and lows as we learn more about sailing, ourselves, and our boat, all whilst exploring the world. This is Sailing Selkie. Welcome aboard.
The first part of this process is to register the change of name with the UK Ships Registry. For this boat, we're going to put it on part 3 of the Ships Registry because it's like the simplest process, and it's already registered there under the old owner. So I've sent off a document requesting the change of ownership and at the same time requesting to change the name. So it costs 35 quid and that application's in at the moment. So whilst we're waiting for that to come through, we can start the next bit of the process. So this is where it gets a bit superstitious. Tradition says that we have to purge the boat of all references to the original name, and that if we don't, there's a high risk that the boat will end up at the bottom of the sea. So it's a really good excuse to go through all the documents and organise everything. But along the way, I'm going to be tip-Xing out every mention of moonlighting that I can find. Do you think I have to tip out something that says moon shadow? I don't think Poseidon's going to care too much about that.
I think you should, just in case.
Better safe than sorry!
At least the name we picked is short.
Oh God, that took quite a while. But I'm feeling quite pleased with myself because now we've got neat folders, bills of sale, engine history, safety equipment, service history, and I couldn't bring myself to throw a bunch of it away, or couldn't bring myself to throw a bunch of it away, because we actually now sorted through the cruising history from 1999 to 2018. So I mean from this, there's at least 2 previous owners with potentially a third one in the middle, which we have less documents for, but 2 previous owners have cruised the Caribbean and it's crossed the Atlantic at least twice, so that's quite fun to have that, and we'll keep that with the boat. So documents all sorted.
So we're supposed to be having our renaming ceremony tomorrow, and we've not yet actually removed the old name off the back of the boat. It's spitting, but it's kind of the only time we have to do it, so I'm gonna waterproof up and see how hard it is to remove. It's like the worst kind of rain. I'm just ripping the last M off. We're nameless.
Wow.
That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to put the new name on tomorrow morning before everyone arrives, because it's so wet now. I just don't think it's going to stick very well. Yeah, really exciting. I've got all of the old name screwed up in my pocket, which is kind of mental. Feels more and more like ours every day.
So I've just taken these, our new vinyl decals, out of their box. They've been sitting in the car for ages because they're not supposed to be on the boat. And actually, it's made me quite emotional. Like, this kind of feels like a big moment where you got to the point where we feel we can rename her, and it's like she's ready. She's ready to go off and be the boat that we've been planning and dreaming of for ages. So I'm really, really excited to get these on, and I think they're going to look amazing. Time to measure it up. I mean, really don't want to get this wrong. So I just offer it up, or I'm wondering whether we basically measure from the corners off the windows. Before I even take it on, I'm just going to measure up whether those windows are actually square. So the windows aren't square.
Oh.
So that one's 20 centimetres away from that side, that's 28 centimetres away from that side.
No, you want it in line with the windows, not with
that is the midpoint, but then these
No,
are
I
like
think
that.
windows.
Okay.
So what's that doing? Just getting...
This is like industrial strength degreaser.
Okay.
So it lifts all the dirt off. So does that look about right to you? I think that's lined up where I was expecting to put it.
Yeah, that looks lined up to me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, I honestly think it's going to be easier just to do the whole thing.
No, but you know how you push it across with your hand as you go? Push it across.
Yeah. I just want this out first. Oh. I hope those are happy tears.
Got the soundtrack in the back going.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the dodgy cover of Coldplay. It's perfect, isn't it?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Bon Library!
Nice little
Right, camera. Okay, so legend has it that it's incredibly unlucky to change a name on a boat. So when a boat's first launched and gets its name, it goes on Poseidon's ledger forevermore. We're kind of playing with the gods by changing the name. So this whole process is about appeasing them and making sure that they take the new boat name onto the ledger and keep us safe. The first part of the ceremony is about getting rid of the old name, and then we'll bring in the new name, and then we have to do a toast to the gods of the different winds to make sure they carry us safely. And the reason why we've got the like flowers on there is you're supposed to have a connection back to shore, so it brings the boat back. So you're blessing it with the land as you go. I'll do the first bit, which is the ode to Poseidon, and then I'll hand over to Ez to do the renaming bit. Part of this is we've got to sacrifice the old name to the sea, and we've got to give a sacrifice to Poseidon, which is the bottle. O mighty and great ruler of the seas and oceans, to whom all ships and we who venture upon your vast domain are required to pay homage, I implore you in your graciousness to expunge for all time from your records the recollection of the name Moonlighting, which has ceased to be an entity in your kingdom. As proof thereof, we submit this ingot bearing her name to be corrupted with your powers and forever be purged from the sea. In grateful acknowledgement of your munificence and dispensation, we offer these liberations to your majesty and your court. Okay, everyone ready?
Ready?
Oh!
I think that counts as sacrifice.
Will it float?
No. I think that counts. Poseidon got a full bottle. He can open it whenever he wants. Amazing.
We just have the rest of it. Why are you doing with that?
I'm supposed to pour some across west to east, and then I'm going to break the bottle for fun.
Oh! O mighty and great ruler of the sea and oceans, to whom all ships and we who venture upon your vast domain are required to pay homage, I implore you in your graciousness unto your records and recollection this worthy vessel hereafter for all time known as Selkie.
Here.
Yeah.
Ready?
So now we have to toast the wind. North is that way. Great Boreas, exalted ruler of the north wind, grant us permission to use your mighty powers in the pursuit of our lawful endeavours, ever sparing us the overwhelming scourge of your frigid breath.
Great Notice, exalted ruler of the south wind, grant us permission to use your mighty powers in the pursuit of our lawful endeavours, ever sparing us the overwhelming scourge of your scalding breath.
Cheers! And it's done.
Yay!
Very entertaining. Good morning. So after yesterday's renaming ceremony, we went out for dinner with all our friends. It was way too windy to take her for her maiden voyage, so we've woken up quite early this morning. High tide's at 7 AM, and because of the marina lock, it means that we have to go out, 2 hours before or after high tide to get back in again. So we're heading out now, just for an hour or so, to officially rename her Selkie.